Welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 11 of Social Problems in India and the topic is labor, that is women labor. Topics to be covered are introduction, extent and nature of women's work participation, women workers by various sectors of employment, labor laws for women workers, women's work participation, that is challenges and responses of women's work participation. Now come to the first topic, that is extended and nature of women's work participation. Women play an important role in the Indian economy and are engaged in variety of occupations in rural and urban areas. The report of the Committee of the Status of Women in India pointed out that the status of any given section of population in a society is ultimately connected with its economic position, which depends on roles, rights and opportunities for participation in economic activities. The report further observed that sex inequality cannot in reality be differentiated from the variety of social, economic and cultural inequalities in Indian society. The inequalities inherent in our traditional social structure based on caste, community, class and gender influence women's economic role and opportunities. Their participation is also affected by the state of development in rural-urban location. Now next is women's work participation. Accurate data regarding the extent and nature of women's work is limited because of the limited definition of work in the census, which excludes much of the work women do within the household for the family's survival and maintenance. The data is also not comparable because of change in definitions of worker from census to census and lack of uniformity in classification of workers by age, sex and educational levels. Earners and earners depends have their classified differentially in various census. Again, the 1971 census used the labor time deposition criteria over the reference year and defined workers as only those who spend the major part of their time in economic activities. Thus, all irregular, marginal and part-time workers come under the category of non-workers. The marginal irregular workers were more likely to be concentrated among women, children and aged persons. Therefore, the census report does not give the real picture. The Labour Bureau has brought out a document titled Statistical Profile on Women Labour. Many of these sources underestimate women's labour contribution is insofar as the work that women do on family farms and homes based family occupation remain unpaid and invisible to the data collection. No economic value is given to work such as collection of fuel, fodder and water, collection of minor forest produce for subsistence and household maintenance activities, as it does not come under the purview of market economy. Sexual divisions of relegates women primary responsibility to providing goods and services to the family. For the poor women, all workers is for subsistence and survival of the family. Even if one does not take into account the above mentioned aspects of the women's contribution to the economy, there exists a difference in assessing the workforce participation of women. Majority of women workers are employed in the rural areas and in agriculture. Among these rural women's workers, 87% are employed in agriculture as laborers and cultivators. Among the women workers in the urban areas, 80% are employed in unorganized sector like household industries, petty trade and service, buildings and construction, etc. The employment of women in the organized sector as on March 2000 was about 4.928 millions. They constitute 17.6% of the total organized sector employment in the country. The distribution of women employees in major industries reveals that community, social and personal services sectors continue to absorb the majority of women employees. The lowest employment of women was noticed in electricity, gas and water sectors, and in the factory and plantation establishment women workers constituted 14% and 51% respectively of the total workers in 1997. In mine establishment, women workers constituted 5% of the total workers. According to the Human Development Report, in South Asia, females labor force constituted 32% of the total labor force in India in 2000. According to Dr. Ashok Mitra, The underreporting of female workforce participation rates in the census varies from 30 to 40%. The measurement and analysis of female labor force participation suffers from underestimates, inadequate attention to unpaid workers, work at home and outside, and lack of support service to reduce their urgency, that is provision of drinking water, fuel and fodder, childcare, etc. All these have adverse impact on the status of women labor force. Next is nature of work done by women workers. It was pointed out that women's work had been subjected to invisibility because of the census bias and conservative estimate of work done by women. The NSSO has identified the following household activities in which women regularly engage: maintenance of kitchen, garden, orchard, etc. Work in household poultry, work in household dairy, free collection of fish, small game, etc. Free collection of firewood, cattle feed, etc. Husking paddy, preparation of gur, grinding of food grains, preparation of cow dung, cakes for use as fuel, sewing, tailoring, tutoring of children, bringing water from outside the household premises, bringing water from outside the village. Now, categories of women labor. On the basis of their work status, women labor can be grouped under the following three categories. First one is self-employed. That means both within and outside home. They constitute the predominant sector of the employment in our country, and according to NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Organization, in 1987, 57.3% of total workforce was absorbed by this sector, and the choice of activity depends on family situation. Women's control over the means of production, skills, technology and work organization. Second is wage workers, that is outside home. Example, agricultural workers, construction workers, factory workers, contract workers, etc. and inside home. Third one is unpaid family labor on their own farm or family occupations like weaving, pottery, handicraft, etc. Now, factors affecting women's work participation. Women's work participation rate in general has been declining over the decades. First, absence of the comprehensive national policy for women development aiming at improving their employability through education, training and improving their access to resources and technology. Structural changes in the economy, example, declining in traditional rural industries like pottery, blacksmithing. Lack of assets in their own name in order to have access to credit and self-employment opportunities has been the important hurdle in the upward mobility of women workers. Women workers by various sectors of employment. Women engage in agricultural operations work on an average about 12 hours a day on the farm in taking care of the cattle at home. There is a division of labor between the tasks men and women do in agriculture. Women engage in agricultural operations work on an average about 12 hours a day on the farm in taking care of the cattle at home, and there is a division of labor between the tasks men and women do in agriculture. Although it is not rigid and there are regional variations, however, some patterns are uniform. Women do not plow the field due to social taboos. Women are mainly engaged in sowing, weeding, transplanting and spraying chemical pesticides. Other activities where the number of women workers exceed the number of male workers are cashew nuts processing, cotton and wool spinning and weaving, manufacturing of beverages, tobacco proceedings, canning and preventions of fruits and vegetables. Unorganized sector. The nature or extent of women's work participation in the rural unorganized sector in quantitative and quantitative different in the rural areas from that of the urban areas. First, rural unorganized sector. Employment in this sector is characterized by lack of job security, low wages, long hours of work and unhealthy working conditions. There are very few workers unions to bring pressure on employers to provide more humane conditions of work. Inadequate legislation of these workers are totally ineffective enforcement of the few legislation enacted to protect their interests further aggravate their situation. Women workers in this sector are mostly illiterate and they are drawn from the poorer sections and they lack opportunities to improve their skills through training and education. A large share of work in the rural unorganized sector is done by women. Urban unorganized sector, large number of women are engaged in services. 8% of the women are engaged in construction activities. Majority of the self-employed women are in petty business, selling pan bidets, fruits, vegetable, leaf, cane and bamboo products and sale of firewood, etc. Significant number of self-employed women are working outside the home with irregular income and many a time operating from the pavements. Domestic service is another area where a large number of women workers are engaged as part-time or full-time workers and women have been employed more where putting cut systems is common like garments, engineering products, plastics, rubber and tobacco processings. Organized sector. There has been a sharp decline in the number of women workers in coal mining, particularly after the nationalization of the industry. There are reports that the public sector coal mines have encouraged women to retire voluntarily. After nominating a male from the family for the job in both public and private sector, there is an extensive use of women contract and casual labor with a view to avoid provision of labor laws, that is providing child care centers, minimum wages and maternity benefits. Labor law for women workers. Labor law are enacted to provide safe working conditions like health and maternity benefits, prevent their exploitation and regulate wages. Equal Remuneration Act, that is, this act states that there should be no wage discrimination between male and female workers when they are engaged in the same type of activity. The act applied to workers in the organized sector. It has been largely ignored in the unorganized sector. Women in agriculture, construction, household industry, etc. continue to receive lower wages than men. Now, Minimum Wages Act. In addition, women in the organized sector are entitled to maternity benefits. Employers are also expected to provide creche where more than 30 women are employed. Maternity Benefit Act. This act provides that women workers are entitled to 24 weeks of leave with full pay during pregnancy, and usually the female workers is allowed to take leave for 4 weeks before the birth of the child and 8 weeks leave after the birth of the child. They are also allowed to take leave for 6 weeks for abortion. It is usually being argued that one of the reasons for the decline in the employment of women in the organized sector is that the employers have to pay maternity benefit to female employees. Since the number of women employed in the organized sector is very small, amount paid as maternity benefit is very low in comparison to other social security benefits paid to male employees. National Commission on Self-Employed Women suggested that maternity benefits and child care should be recognized as a package and a fund should be created to provide necessary assistance to women. Various women's organizations have been demanding that child care should be included under the basic needs program of the government and suitable steps should be taken to implement it. Now, women's work participation challenges and responses. Mobilizing and organizing effort. A few organizations like Self-Employed Women Association, Ahmedabad, Working Women Forum, Madras, Annapurna Mahila Mandal, Bombay and several grassroots organizations have mobilized urban and rural poor women workers in order to strengthen their bargaining capacity and improve their access to credit the other resources. SEWA SEWA is a trade union of over 40,000 poor women workers in Gujarat. Housing, water and sanitation are the other major concerns of poor women workers. Attempts to poor women to organize themselves are often met with strong opposition by vested interest in both rural and urban areas. Institutional efforts. Anti-poverty program. Anti-poverty program were launched by the government in the 4th five-year plan, and it was much later in the 6th five-year plan that a separate strategy was considered for employment and income generation for poor women. The report of the CSWI stressed the fact that the poor are not a homogeneous group. Since then, several studies have highlighted the unequal burden of poverty on women due to their familial responsibilities and the need to provide for the subsistence need of women. The major anti-poverty program in the country are program for providing self-employment and program of wage employment, special programs, training programs, and the last one is distribution of surplus land to the poor. Now there are some questions on the basis of this session. First is, what are the different categories of women laborers. Second is what are the employment characteristics of the informal sector. That's it for this session. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.